local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
The Oregon legislature began its daily floor sessions today with Governor Tina Kotek hosting a press conference. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Haley Gravitt. Kotek is calling for more accountability in the classroom. She introduced two bills she says will boost student outcomes and support schools. NewsWatch 12's Tim Quidadamo reports.
We are at a critical moment for our state's education system. The data is clear. Oregon schools are lagging behind other states.
In January, the National Assessment of Educational Progress showed Oregon had some of the lowest math and reading test scores in the nation. Today, Governor Kotek and other Oregon lawmakers are emphasizing the importance of the Oregon Department of Education working with school districts to give them what they need while still holding them accountable for student performance, with House Bill 2009 and Senate Bill 141.
It still respects a strong tradition of local control, but building on recent transformational investments in education.
These bills also call for testing with more immediate results.
I know there's a lot of frustration with some of the testing we do because it's a big test that happens and you don't see the results so even after the end of the school year. I am proposing further support for our districts to use these interim assessments where during the school year, they're getting real-time understanding about where their students are so they can continue to work differently throughout the school year.
Following Kotek's press conference, Representative Dwayne Yunker released a statement saying, quote, "We need results, not bureaucracy. Taxpayer dollars should go to schools that prove they're educating kids." According to ODE data for English language arts, only 3 of 13 school districts in Southern Oregon had a higher percentage of students testing proficient than the state average. In Oregon, I'm Tim Quidadamo.
Another bill being discussed in the legislature would ban the sale of flavored tobacco and nicotine products. Senate Bill 702 was recently heard by the Oregon Senate Committee on Early Childhood and Behavioral Health. They say one of the biggest contributors to youth smoking and vaping is flavorings, but a local smoke shop owner says that's not the problem, but the accessibility of getting a vape.
A lot of this stuff was only available in 21 and over type stores. Now with all the convenience stores, it's making it a lot more accessible for minors to be able to purchase products that they shouldn't be able to see or purchase until they're 21.
Painter also said the sale of vape and tobacco products needs to stay to higher regulated shops. Flavored nicotine and tobacco products make up a large chunk of his sales, saying a ban on these products would harm his business. Let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman to give us a look at our conditions. Beautiful day today for us, Matt, but changes are on the way for us.
Yeah, savor it for now because, some big changes on the way, especially by Wednesday. Tomorrow will be kind of a transition day for us ahead of this next storm system. But out there now, lots of sunshine. We got some very mild temperatures once again today. We're sitting at 64 degrees right now in Grants Pass and Medford, 61 in Montague, in the 50s for the basin, and it's 56 along the coast in Brookings. Mostly clear skies throughout most of southern Oregon and northern California. That's the way it'll stay tonight. It will be a bit chilly, down to 35 degrees in Medford, 33 in Grants Pass, and falling into the 20s for tonight in the basin. But tomorrow, look for clouds to increase. Winds will pick up as well out of the southwest. Good chunk of the day is dry, but by later in the day, shower chances picking up along the coast. And then also as we move inland, we will see those showers starting to develop as we move into the evening hours of your Tuesday. Take a look at Stormcast when it comes to winds. A bit breezy out there tomorrow afternoon, but with the main brunt of the storm system moving in on Wednesday, could get some pretty strong winds in the Shasta Valley, gusts between 40 to 50 miles per hour. But we're going to be watching Lake County especially, where some of those higher terrain areas could get some gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So wind advisory in place 8 a.m. Wednesday to 5 a.m. Thursday. We will see snow in our higher elevations and some impacts to travel, definitely, especially in the Mount Shasta area where we have a winter storm warning that is in place. Coming up in a bit, we'll talk timing of rain and snow, details on snow levels, and of course rain and snow amounts. That's all coming up in just a bit. Haley.
Matt, thank you. We're continuing our coverage tonight of the collapsed North Medford gym. The demolition process began today with crews shoring the site. This will help keep parts of the building structurally sound while crews start removing debris. The Medford School District said last week in a meeting that students would probably miss 1 year of having a gymnasium. MSD is considering a temporary structure that could be used for both athletics and extracurriculars for students in the meantime. Demolition continues tomorrow and the gym walls are set to come down. And today is the last day to submit an appeals on the state's wildfire hazard map. This weekend, property owners in high hazard areas from Jackson and Josephine counties expressed fear of insurance rate changes at a town hall in White City. The meeting, attended by state legislators and other local leaders, aimed to educate the public on the wildfire hazard maps developed under Senate Bill 762. The Oregon Department of Forestry says you do not need a fully developed case to submit the appeals, and they can be submitted by mail to ODF or on its website. Mail must be postmarked by today. And the Illinois Valley Soil and Water Conservation District is making strides in restoring areas affected by the 2020 Slater fire. NewsWatch 12's Damian Alvarado is showing us the post-fire restoration project and how things are now looking.
74 acres of private property in southern Illinois Valley were impacted. The Slater fire devastated homes and the environment. In April 2023, the Upper Illinois River Watershed Post-Fire Restoration Project started and focused on replanting and remediating areas.
The community definitely felt the effects of the Slater fire after it crept north over the California border.
Despite facing challenges such as a tree seedling shortage, the project has made significant progress. The work not only addresses immediate environmental concerns, but also helps combat erosion, invasive species, and the risk of future wildfires.
The crews have been making this work happen on some of the steepest and most rugged terrain you can imagine. They have worked for days on end in stands of burnt madrone and tan oak, dense as mistletoe and teeming with rattlesnakes.
The celebratory events will be held on April 5th at the newly remodeled Cave Junction Library.
These crews are some of the same crews that really saved the Illinois Valley from the Slater fire back in 2020. So it really kind of brings the whole fire resiliency initiative full circle.
Reporting in Illinois Valley, I'm Damian Alvarado.
And new at 6, Access in Medford is announcing major renovations that would bring all of their programs into one space. The project includes expansions to their current building on Aviation Way and the demolishing of the building on Lear Way to build a new building. The project is expected to begin in November and wrap up in January of 2027. Access says all their services will continue without disruption and will be financed through a loan. More details on this project can be found on our website. Now, with 1 month left in tax season, one program is providing tax help to low-income taxpayers for free. NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker shares more about the VITA program.
We're getting into the hardest season of the year, tax season, and tax filers, they're preparing for the huge influx of people coming in. And for those who are low income, a program is actually available to help you get your taxes done for free. Tax season, a time full of headaches, confusion, and worry for the results or mistakes made when filing.
So many people fear the IRS and fear taxes because there is so much misunderstanding.
But with VITA, those who are low income get help filing their taxes for free, with all of that work being done by volunteers.
And we get the opportunity to meet with them and go through their information with them and prepare their returns, getting to work through all their available information and helping them get their returns filed and hopefully get them refunds.
Helping communities that face struggles such as language barriers and those who can't otherwise afford a tax service.
We get people like, oh, I can buy that freezer I've been hoping to buy. Or, oh, I really need that set of tires. That kind of extra purchase that in a month to month, they're managing month to month to pay their bills.
The reason these volunteers keep coming back?
It's the ability to make a difference for people, to help out people, taxes are very complex and very confusing for a lot of folks.
Reporting in Medford,
There's a lot of joy in it.
I'm Rocky Walker.
The Rogue Valley Transportation Department is announcing a brand new route in Central Point. Route 41 will begin at the Medford Airport and make stops throughout Central Point, including to Albertsons, Providence, Crater High School, and Twin Creeks Park. It can also be used to transfer to routes 40 and 61 to reach Medford and White City. The route will run Monday through Friday between 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Service set to begin on March 17th. Moving now to a crime alert tonight, a Klamath County judge sentenced Richard Carlson this morning after he was found guilty of sex crimes against children who were all under the age of 12. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Each sentence represents an identified victim who were all under the age of 12 at the time. It's one of the longest sentences in Oregon history for sex crimes. Carlson is serving his sentence in the Oregon Department of Corrections. And the Klamath Falls Police Department has arrested Thomas Anderson for selling fentanyl and meth out of a hotel room. Surveillance was conducted on both Anderson and the hotel. Police stopped Anderson after he exited the hotel room and gained consent to search. Half an ounce of fentanyl was individually packaged for sale and was located along with meth and more than $1,000. Anderson was arrested for unlawful possession and unlawful delivery of a controlled substance.